Welcome to part 3 of the Feature Manager video. Solidworks will allow you to right-click on features and configure them right from the right mouse button menu. That's a nice function. We'll talk more about the details on this when we talk about configurations. You can delete something from the right mouse button menu in the Feature Manager. You can also click on something directly and click delete on the keyboard, and SolidWorks will give you a list of what's going to go along with this, the dependent items. You can delete the absorbed features. An absorbed feature is, for example, a sketch that was used to create an extrusion. The sketch would be absorbed into the extrusion. So deleting those would be one option. Delete child features is an option. And don't show this dialogue again is another option. If you choose to keep some of these things, you're going to get a lot of errors in your tree. And the further down, the more errors you'll get. I'm going to hit Control-Z to get all of that back. The freeze bar is another tool that you can use in SolidWorks. The freeze bar can be turned on in System Options, General, Enable Freeze Bar. What the freeze bar does is it's just the opposite of the rollback bar. Rollback bar is at the bottom by default, and you can pull it up to temporarily eliminate certain features from the model. But the freeze bar is up at the top, and you can pull it down. And what this does is it freezes these features in time, and it won't allow them to update. This is particularly useful if you have kind of a mess of your parametric model. If you have relationships, in particular, maybe in context relationships, where things are changing and you don't want them to change, you just want it to be locked down and kept the same, or you want to make sure that something doesn't change accidentally. Save selection and selection sets are very important aspects. There are some times when you're creating a very complex feature, like a fillet, for example, that has a lot of edge selections. And maybe you're trying hard to get that fillet to work, but it just fails every time. And so you have to get out of the feature, go back, fix something, and then get into the feature and make that selection again and see if the feature works now. Instead of needing to do that, you can use a selection set, and that just stores a bunch of selected entities in this folder location that will show up in your tree if you have it set up to do that. So the selection set's a very important thing. Sketch color can be important too. If you have sketches with certain functions or sketches that you need to edit a lot, you can change the sketch color just to make it more visible. Visualization is a very important function in CAD, and using color for that is an important tool. Feature properties allows you to discover certain properties about each feature. You can see who made it, when they made it, and the last time it was modified. You can see if it's suppressed and what configuration it's suppressed in, the name of the feature, and if there's a special description of the feature. And the feature properties can be an important way to interrogate your model. Change transparency is just a quick way of using the column over here in the display pane to change the transparency of a feature, a body, or a part. Go to will allow you to find a particular feature in the Feature Manager, and then SolidWorks will scroll the Feature Manager to that particular feature. This is much more useful in assemblies because the Assembly Manager have a tendency to be much larger than parts. Collapse items is any expanded item will be collapsed, and that's, for example, up here I have a solid bodies folder expanded, and I could just collapse that. But it would also do the same for any type of child feature that has parent features underneath it. Rename tree item is just another way of getting to the rename interface with a slow double click or the F2. Hide show tree items takes you back to the Tools Options Feature Manager interface and allows you to turn on or off with hide, show, or automatic. Automatic just means if there's nothing in it, it will be hidden. If there's something in it, it will be shown. And these are system options. You should be aware, because they will not go with individual assembly files or part files. These will apply only to your computer. So your feature manager may look different on your computer versus on a coworker's computer, depending on these settings. And so these are the basic functions of the feature manager. Again, when you get into assemblies, there's another huge list of things that you can do. And we'll talk about that more in an assemblies video. Thanks for watching.